Episode one, who knows, of Cal Cagno Radio begins right now. It's winded to start things off. Why don't you tell everybody
Yeah.
where you went?
I
Tell
just walked
everybody
down the stairs.
no,
That's how winded I am.
bigger thing did you do that was dumb of you?
Um, well, bigger thing was dumb of me.
You
Oh,
got a
get it?
puppy, dude.
Yeah, get a puppy. Well, I
Dude.
didn't get a puppy. My wife got a puppy.
And why did we decide to get a puppy when you've already got a beautiful bulldog named Grim who doesn't need a sister or a brother?
Well, my wife was like, "Do you want to have a baby?" And I was like, "Nope."
She did
So then,
not.
and then she's like, "Well, how about a puppy?" I was like, "All right."
Did she really hit you with, you want to have a baby?
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of a bi-yearly question that she poses to me.
Wow, this took a complete right turn.
Yeah, no.
Before we started, Joe told me that his wife, or excuse me, that he's got a new puppy. We saw the puppy a minute ago,
Yeah.
but we weren't recording yet. And then he was like, "Oh, the dog just took a dump on the carpet," and then ran back, was out of breath. And I'm like, "This will be hilarious. We'll talk about puppies, and then I'll get into the fact that there's no breeders around here. They're
Well,
always
we can
really
still
far
get
away."
into that.
Yeah,
We
we'll
can
get
still-
there. And then you were just like, "Yeah, my wife
Right.
wants to have a baby." Are you gonna get your vasectomy reversed then? Because
Oh,
you've had
heck
a
no. Yeah, no. She's asked a few times, and I'm like, absolutely not. I'm 43. I'm not going to be 53 with a 10-year-old. That,
No,
like that ain't
exactly.
happening. No
Well-
offense to any of our listeners. If you had kids older, I have a 16-year-old and a 13-year-old, and then
Yes.
I have a 9-year-old stepdaughter. I'm not having any new kids. So
Well, yeah.
yeah,
Here's the
plus I'm
thing:
snipped. I'm like double snipped.
you're on the other side of it, right? Like
Yeah,
that's the way
yeah,
I
yeah,
look
yeah.
at it.
Yeah.
I have a buddy of mine who has like a 25-year-old from his first marriage, like a 23-year-old. Then his son is friends with my son, so like a 15-year-old, and now he has like a 4-year-old, and he's like, it's like starting over. And he loves the kid. Don't get me wrong,
That wouldn't be me.
but it's a complete change when
Yeah.
you've got a 25 or when you've got grandkids that are around the same age as your current kids.
Yeah, no, I could only imagine.
Yeah.
Yep.
But again, I mean, I see why people do it, right? Like this is his wife and this is their child together,
Yeah.
right?
so-
So these are
Yeah,
all
so when
like,
Molly
so
and I
like the older,
dated-
these older kids are not his current wife's.
Yeah.
His middle kid is not his son, but it's his stepson, and
Yeah.
everyone gets along. But I can see how that would come up.
Yeah. No, when Molly and I dated, she had talked about it. Do you want to have kids again? No. And then that was it. It was no. And then once we actually were married, the question started coming up again, and it was still no. So I think it was minutes after being asked if we wanted to have kids, have a baby, that I said no. That she then followed it up with, "Well, how about a beagle? Like, can I get a beagle?" And
Like,
at
yes,
that point,
whatever you want.
exactly. At that point, you're like, yeah. If she would have said, "Can we have a baby?" No. Can I get like a pet cheetah? Yeah. Go ahead. Yep. Like it would have been anything she asked for after that question she got. So she got a beagle. So she got the thing. I was up north last weekend. She went and got it. You were asking like, where is it?
Yeah.
So it's a beagle breeder down in like Hudson, Michigan, or something like that. They're,
Beagle breeders by you.
yeah.
The best beagle breeders around. Bam it. Like everything's got to be. It's
Beagle
all
breeders, baby.
baby. At the end, it's Arthur P. You can't breed a better
Bible
beagle.
time. It's
Yeah,
Bible time.
You can't breed a better beagle, baby.
Yeah. So they do beagles and labs, I guess. Molly was telling me when she went, they did
They don't
labs as
crossbreed
well.
them, do they?
No, I don't think so. It's called Bachman Beagles. And so it's like, if you Google it, it's like the top in Michigan. So
And where is
Yeah.
it?
it's down in like Hudson, Michigan. I
don't
think
even
it's
know
like
what
on
that
the
is.
I think it's like on the border between like Ohio and Michigan.
That's
I think.
my question. Do they do breeders? And I understand we're going to get tons of email where people are like, "Don't go to breeders. Go only to shelters." Listen, you can do whatever you want. I'm not here to tell you what to do. But do breeders, are they allowed to exist in like neighborhoods, or do they have to be in towns I've never heard of?
They have to be in towns you've never heard of. It's
Like-
it's very difficult for a dog breeder to live in like the suburbs, because there's usually laws in place. Like in Royal Oak, you can only have a maximum of 3 dogs living at your house. And so you can only have 3 and stuff like that. So then when you're talking about breeding, obviously it's more, and then there's puppies, and there's you need the room for the dogs to run, depending on what kind of dog they are.
So it's not just that they're all on the outskirts and things are a little bit in these towns where, everyone looks the other way. Literally, the laws are different for like Royal Oak and Ferndale. So you can't just be like, oh my gosh, I have 46 dogs.
Right. Plus, I think it's just easier I would think it would be easier for like if you're a farmer already and you're like, oh, I'm going out to feed the pigs and milk the chickens. If you're like going out to do that
Milk
already.
the chickens.
Yeah.
For those people out there that are wondering what that sound is, it's me milking a little tiny teat.
He's doing the little milking activity. What's it called?
Yeah.
Hand signal.
Yeah.
But I mean, wouldn't you think that like if you're a farmer, you're up at the butt crack of dawn anyway, you're planting corn, doing your farmerly duties. I don't think it's that much more just to like throw down some dog food. You have a bunch of dogs running around on the property.
Yeah. Now, did you go to see the dog and like pick out the dog?
She did. Yeah.
Did you?
I did not. I was up north.
Because twice now I've done the breeder thing.
Okay.
For my golden retrievers. And both times you walk into the home and you're like, wow, I couldn't help but notice that your house smells of feces. Like, it's clear that there's 100 dogs here and the dogs are losing their mind. And you have to, in that moment, pretend like you're cool with this. Like, it's not like hell on earth. And this is not like a nightmare.
I hope my house smells like this after a week with the dog. Yeah. Yeah. That is a wonderful pungent aroma.
You're like, this is the stuff that my nightmares are made of. And that's how I feel right now.
Yeah, no, I know she said that once she picked up the dame, the dame,
we call her a little bitch because that's right. It's right to call her a bitch.
Well, when Molly went to pick her up, we named her Miki, Miki, which is Hawaiian
for the problem.
Yeah, it's Hawaiian.
Everyone's going to be like, oh, Mickey? Like Mickey Mouse? And you're like, no, Miki.
No, that's exactly what I think, too. But
right.
We went with it, but it's
like the people out there that name their kids a little something different. You know what I mean? Like just a little bit. And it's like,
it's Hawaiian.
Your name's Kira. You're like, it's not Kara, it's Kira. And you're like,
yeah. Oh,
you're like, Shira? Did you say Shira?
Kiara? Like, that's why I said Kara. No, Kiara. Le Kiara. Did you say Le? Is it French?
No, her name is what? Miki?
Miki. Miki. Freaky Miki.
That's a whole nother.
But
I'm sure if you Google Freaky Miki, that's okay.
Miki is Hawaiian for energy. I think I've tried to say that 6 times already now.
We could have cut you off too many times.
Yeah, I think so. But I got it out. So that's what it is. And she's fantastic. She's funny, but she's a puppy. She's 9 weeks old. So, she's, we're potty training her. Molly's potty training her. Everything's on Molly.
Yeah.
Because Molly told me that Grim is such a horribly trained dog. So she's told me that she's going to do a better job with Miki. And so as I just cleaned up poop from 3 feet away from me on the carpet. So she's we'll see how that goes.
Okay, well that'll be fun. We'll keep an update on that.
Anything Molly puts her mind to, she does. So I think she's a smart enough woman to know that if something's not working, she'll change it up. But
I love it.
I'm pretty sure.
Either way, so that's what's new with Joe. We want to thank you for tuning in today. It's been a good couple of weeks. We haven't actually recorded since, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. So it's been a while. I realized when I came down here that I now have a ceiling again in the basement because I put it back up. So I've cleaned up the basement. It's all remnants of the dead possum are gone. It doesn't smell down here. I don't have 9,000 flies. So today's a good day. Excuse me. Nice. But since we did see each other last, I did get my pool fixed. It happened.
Oh, how'd that go?
The guy came over and I went off the rails. I did everything we rehearsed. Imagine everything that we rehearsed about like not being a total creep.
Yeah.
I went full creep mode to the point that at one point the guy looked at me like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Really?
Yeah.
You and him were like buddies after the quote.
No. See, you're thinking of 2 different people. So the guy that did the quote, my buddy who I thought, who was like, oh, you're the best guy I've ever dealt with. He was from the leak detection company. The second person is from the pool company.
Okay.
So I call this guy who I got from the leak detection guy, and the guy answers the phone and sounds almost like he would look like Doc from Back to the Future. Like,
Marty,
yeah, like frazzled.
you got a leak in the pool. 1.21 gallons. Marty.
I heard a thing the other day about that. John Mulaney was doing a bit about that. He pointed out that they'd never, in any of those movies, explain why Marty and a disgraced nuclear physicist are friends. He said he goes, they didn't even get lazy and be like, hey, remember when we met at the science lab? No, we don't know why they're friends.
Nothing.
But they're best friends, and they travel not to the past, but to the future together in the first movie.
I was always thinking the reason that they were friends, and this might be a stretch, but this is the way my brain filled in the cracks. I always thought that they were friends because Marty was into music, and he had that giant speaker.
Where he holds up the pick and he goes, ting.
Yeah.
Because you can see it like shine, yeah.
And he turns all the knobs up.
And it goes.
So that's kind of what I was thinking, was that like, okay, he has this giant speaker and Marty wanted to come over and play that, and then that's how they became friends.
Okay, well, we don't know, but either way, Back to the Future, I don't know why I'm talking about that. Why, how to get him back to
time. So the pool guy looked like
no, he sounded like he looked like that. So he's like, so I talk to him, he gives me a quote, we agree on it, I text him and I say, okay, here's my address. We'll see you on Monday, like the 15th. It's gonna
cost you $750. They found me. Who found you? The Libyans. I don't know how, but they found me.
The Libyans. So this dude, I talk to him and I get off the phone and I don't really feel like we've got an actual appointment. Like,
okay.
He's like, yeah, sounds good. I'll be there. You know, do you want to do it tomorrow? And I'm like, no.
Not be there. It ends with, all right, well, see you around. You're like, wait, did we actually book an appointment? Or did I just
have a good life? Have a good life.
All right, see you when I see you.
So it's Sunday before, so it
is what it is.
Yeah. Hey, what can I say? It is what it is, right? I was like, what? So during the conversation, we talk about who does my pool, why I'm calling him instead of who does my pool, and the best part, will there be football this year?
Oh.
And okay. I'm not picking up what his accent is, so I'm not. There's some sort of accent. I can't tell if he's just like I said, he sounded like he had gone to one too many Van Halen concerts.
Okay.
And looked like the guy from Back to the Future.
Okay.
Like the professor, what was his name? Not the professor, Doc.
Doc.
So Sunday rolls up. He's supposed to be here on Monday. I text him, hey, dude, I want to make sure we're good for tomorrow. No response.
Okay.
Monday morning comes around. It's 11. Call him. Text him again. Hey, dude, are you coming today? No response. Hour later. Now it's noon. I call him, and I'm like, hey.
You're like, hey, is your phone ever rang and you couldn't get to it? You thought you heard your phone ringing? Weird. All right, talk to you.
Call me back.
The whole cable guy.
Yeah, I just do that whole bit. Hey, was in the shower. Thought you might have called. Thought I missed your call. Thought I'd call you back. All right. Well, anyways, hit me back. See you. Bye. Anyways. See you. Bye. Anyway, so I call him like after the 5th time. I'm like, I said to Wendy, I'm like, am I supposed to keep calling? I feel like a psycho. And he goes, oh, hey.
Yeah. No, you're supposed to keep calling every half hour until he picks up. Yep. That's what you're supposed to do.
So he calls me, or I talk to him, and he goes, hey, what time you want to do it? And I'm like, well, like, this is kind of like you're supposed to come over today. So, like, you tell me.
Like, how does 4 hours ago sound?
Yeah. So the guy shows up, and he's like,
drunk.
Finally, no. So he says, okay, I'll be there in an hour. 3 hours later, he's still not here. Pick up the phone again. Hey, dude, like, not trying to be that guy, but are you coming?
No, I think you're already that guy. Like, because at this point, when you're calling him, this is your, 7th time?
Yeah, could be 7th.
Yeah, so when you're like, hey, I don't want to be that guy, you already are.
Right.
You were that guy four calls prior. But go on.
So he says, I'll be there in an hour. I call him again after 3 hours, and he's like, oh, I'll be there in a couple minutes. So he rolls up in this van that looks like it should say free candy on the side.
Okay.
If
like
you know what I'm saying.
Loaded diaper on the
side.
side.
Yeah, it should say loaded diaper or free candy. So he gets here. He starts unloading stuff. He's by himself, which I thought he would have like a crew of some sort. He's by himself, and he looks
unloading stuff. None of it has to do with fixing a pool. Like he takes out like a pommel
ghetto
horse,
blaster,
a ghetto blaster,
space
pommel horse, a baseball mitt. You're like, what is this guy doing?
Punching bag. Yeah, he's got
fishing rod and waders.
He's putting on his waders. Where I'm like, what? What is going on?
Indian headdress.
So he goes, so now mind you, the week before I had told him, you're going to have to bring a pump to like drain some of the water. He walks in and I go, hey, do you have a pump? And he goes, no, I didn't bring it. It's another job. And he goes, I'll just backwash your pool, which for everybody out there that don't know anything about pools, it's like flipping a switch and sending all the water through the filter out into your yard, which works if you know what kind of pool I have, which I don't have that type of pool. I can only drop it 4 inches. I can't drop it like below where he needs to work.
Okay.
So he's like, oh, okay, well, okay. So I go in the house. I said to Wendy,
he's like, you got a bucket?
I thought he was going to do like a siphon where you have to suck on the hose and then hope.
Get the gasoline out.
Yeah. So I go in the house to Wendy and I'm like, I don't think this guy knows what he's doing. Like there was that moment where I was like, and here's my question. Can you bail? Can you be like, dude, I don't want you to do this anymore?
Yes, you can. But I want to hear the episode from Wendy's point of view. I can only imagine every time you have somebody over at the house, Wendy probably just sets a timer on the desk as to when you're going to walk in and be like, either this guy's really cool, we need to hang out with him, or come in like, I don't think this guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah, exactly. She was like
Wendy's probably just like, oh, here we go.
Right. So, okay. So then I look outside and he's cutting the hole into the concrete to like work on the area because we know where it is. Okay. So he's cutting it, but again, still no pump. So I'm like, that's kind of weird. Then I look outside. He's gone. Gone.
Yeah.
His saw here is here. There's stuff everywhere. He's nowhere to be found. Mind you, it's 3:00 on a Monday. Gone.
You walk by Grant's room, him and Grant are in there playing video games,
smoking weed. He's just like got a big, he's like just hitting a giant bong. So he's gone. So I text him, I go, where'd you go? Like it had been an hour.
It's like, who are you, my wife?
So then he gets back. This is the best part about it. He gets back and I go, where were you? And he goes, oh, I had to go get the pump from the other job. He goes, was that you that texted me? I go, the guy that asked, where were you? Yeah, that was me.
Oh.
So we're like standing there. So then he starts doing his thing or whatever. And to be completely honest, the guy knew his stuff. Like he was like, once he got it there, he goes, okay, here's where your leak is. He showed me. I took a video of it. Like I showed it to Wendy. It's like, oh, here's why you're losing all this. He goes, okay, so we'll drain this. We'll do this and whatever. So like he knew his stuff, but you could tell he thought I was an absolute jackass.
Uh-huh.
So he's like, well, I'll come get you if I need you. And I'm like,
oh, you got that.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's cool. But like, what? So like he fixes the thing. And then I came out and he goes,
I didn't come get you.
Exactly. Word for word. He goes, oh, I didn't need you yet. And I go, oh, I just wanted to see how you were doing. He goes, I'll tell you when I'm done. You don't have to check on me.
Oh, yes.
Now, mind you, I forgot to tell you what he really looks like. So he's Romanian.
Okay.
Big beer belly and like 40. Okay. No, maybe 35. Okay. No hair at all. And doesn't look anything like Doc from Back to the Future.
Okay.
So So I come back out or whatever, and he's like, the quote I gave you. And I'm like, here we go. He's going to jack the price.
Yep.
Turns out complete opposite. He goes, the quote I gave you was to do this, this, and this. He goes, I don't think you need all that. He goes, I really don't feel comfortable monkeying with your pool too much. So he's like, what? He's like, you can see where this is at. He goes, what if we just pressured? He goes, I'll fix the part that's leaking. Then we'll pressure test it with air so you can see it's not leaking anymore. He goes, but I just don't think. He goes, I'll knock a couple $100 off it. Let's just be smart about this. So then I'm like, well, this guy's like legit. So I go back in the house. About 20 minutes later, I see him walking over by all the pool equipment. Like, I'm like, what's he doing over there? Now, mind you, the leak is nowhere near there. He doesn't need to be by the pool equipment.
Okay.
And I'm like, so I come out, I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I just got to find a place to like pressure test it. He goes, you've got at least 6 leaks.
Oh,
my heart just sinks.
So the 300 he gave back to you that you still had in your hand, he just snapped it right back out.
So he goes, you got about 6 leaks and they're all underwater. Or I mean, all under the ground. So we are going to have to dig this whole thing up. And I'm like, oh no. And then he goes, I'm just joking. I figured you're the kind of guy who would find that funny since you came out here 6 times. And I was like, I didn't know what to say.
Oh my gosh, he's got you pegged.
Yeah, he knows, right? So then he's like, you're just really into this, huh? You're like really into this. He goes, you know your stuff. You can tell. He goes, you're really into this. And I go, yeah, I just want to make sure that I kind of know what's going on or whatever. And then I kind of wasn't sure if he liked that I was into it or had the balls to be like,
he was going to pass his business on to you.
Yeah, like
he was thinking about retiring. He was thinking about retiring. It was like he wanted to gauge your interest to see if you wanted to take over the business. Because his heroin addicted son, he didn't think he could handle it.
Yeah. So then he's like, looks at me and goes, you think there's going to be football this year? Like has the same conversation again. And then I'm like, why does he keep asking me about football? Like, does he think like
you're an athlete?
I'm sorry. No, I don't think so. I'll tell you that story in a second about me being an athlete. So he ends up fixing the pool, does an amazing job, knocked $200 or $300 off of the thing. We agreed on a price. Who are you looking at?
Molly just walked down a third of the stairs and then bent over and peeked her head. I waved at her, and her response was, oh.
Oh, she wanted to like hang with you. We can cut it short. You want to just cut it short? All the people at home are like, are you for real right now? We've waited 2 weeks for this, and you're going to cut it short at 22 minutes?
No, I did the nice husband wave like, hey, I'm having fun. And I just got a moan. Like she's
I roll. Oh, this again. Anyway, so so he fixed it. It looks great. He did a great job. And he sent me a nice text later saying, hey, thanks so much for the business. I got some ideas for your pool. I can definitely make, this work a little bit better and this I'd love to, have more of your business. So he ended up being really cool. But it was one of the oddest interactions I've had, only because here's the thing. When I have people over and I talk too much, it's clear when they're annoyed. I can't tell if he really was annoyed or if he was just messing with me.
Because you know what? I don't think your superpower of knowing when people are annoyed works with people of different ethnicities.
Oh, is that what it is?
I think you could tell with Caucasian, African American, and I'm even going to throw Dutch your way. But everybody else, and Italians, you probably know your own kind.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think the poker goes out, reading faces goes out the window with you.
Yeah. So he's like, so he wanted me, to do something else. He's like, we could do this and this. And he seems reasonably priced. And like I said, did a great job. It looks like, amazing.
How's your water taste coming out of the tap? Have you ever thought about putting a filter on your? He's trying to sell you Brita.
He's like, imagine the cleanest water you can imagine. That takes 4 to 6 hours to drain.
Yep.
That's Brita.
Yeah, that's Brita. You can have 2 cups of water every 6 hours for this $280 charcoal and diamond filter.
All you got to do.
That's all you got to do.
So here's me being an athlete. I'm going to tell you a fun story. So I got a Peloton. Right, so I'm that douchebag who got a Peloton.
Is that a smoker grill? Is that a new grill?
No, that's a exercise bike. You
Okay.
probably have seen these online,
Oh yeah,
right?
the Peloton. Yeah.
Yeah, Peloton. They have a store at Somerset Mall. I ordered it 8 weeks ago, and I got it. And it comes with the bike, and it's got like a TV screen, and you subscribe to these things. You take these classes, you compete against other people.
Yeah.
And do
No, I know it because aren't those the bikes that when you take them out of the box, don't they have that big card that said, "Ha ha ha! You just spent how much on an exercise bike?"
you don't want to know.
And it has like a rubber, like a boxing glove that comes out of the box and punches you in the nuts.
Yeah, right. It drops you.
Like people all over the country every day, if you drive up and down streets, you see exercise bikes for the garbage man. But Peloton,
well, they're too new. You can get them used because people didn't use them.
but like Peloton did for exercise bikes, what Under Armour did for spandex.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's a very good way to say it. Do you got to go?
No, my wife just came down the stairs. You know those hippie slings that like hippie women put kids in? Like it
What?
You know what a baby Bjorn is?
Yeah.
So like you put your kid in like the papoose thing.
Yeah.
Molly has a sling for the puppy.
Oh,
So you know how like hippie women have the slings?
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes.
So she has a sling for the dog.
And the dog's in there right now.
She just came down with the dog and the sling. My stepdaughter Evelyn's right here. Evelyn, come get on the thing. So people of
Hi,
YouTube,
sweetie.
this is
Can she hear
Evelyn.
us?
She can't hear you. He says
Okay.
hi. So that's Evelyn,
Right?
everybody. Yes.
Everybody.
Now she will be a famous YouTube star.
Right. Technically, she'll be on YouTube. I don't know about famous or a star, but we got about 50 people that watch this. So there you go. Anyway, so I bought the Peloton. I get it. It took 6 weeks to get because of COVID. We finally get it. The shoes are 4 sizes too small. So I finally get some shoes online. I start riding this bike. Joe, I'm not joking. I am doing 10 to 15 miles a day on this bike to try to get rid of the quagmire that I see when I look in the mirror.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
that's honorable. That's honorable.
It's honorable.
I can make jokes and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, if it's something that you get into and you like, it's what it is.
So I'm no joke. I did, you know what I mean? I can do a 30-minute ride and go 13 miles.
Clouds of Hawaii.
No, but it's like with an instructor and everything. It's been great. And then I got on the scale today and gained 7 pounds.
Oh, of muscle.
Oh,
Pure
dude, it ain't
muscle.
muscle. You know it ain't muscle. You and I both know it ain't muscle.
You're riding your bike, and in
my
your
God.
water bottle, you got chocolate milk.
Dude. No, tempered chocolate. Like the kind they use to make little Hey, can they hear me right now or no?
No.
Okay. It's like the kind of like liquid chocolate they use to form into like little dongs for bachelorette parties. Like, you know, like liquid chocolate. You know how they like temper it or whatever? They come in those discs. That's what I'm drinking. I'm like, I did 15 miles today while I was drinking hot chocolate. So it's good.
Yeah. You're just you're riding no-handed eating cheesecake. You're like, I got a carbo load.
I got a carb load right
just
now.
Riding, and you have like that A&W window tray connected to your handlebars, and you just got like a full meal. Fettuccine Alfredo. Yeah. Fettuccine, cheesecake, mashed potatoes and gravy. And then you're just and you're just like doing like a nice ride. Like
leisurely.
A nice leisurely pace through a
like
park.
the pace you would use if you were going up to the Dairy Queen to have, I don't know, ice cream.
No, the pace that you ride when you don't want to sweat.
Yeah. You're like, I just took a shower, I don't want to sweat.
And then you kind of you pedal, and then you do your feet backwards, like zzz, and you just kind of like you kind of glide.
Why is it when people do that, you could tell the people all think they look sweet?
Oh, yeah.
Right. No matter what age. If you're like, and then you just kick them backwards, you got to go like a little slower. Yep. You know, you're like, this looks so freaking cool.
Just do it backwards. Absolutely.
Yeah, there's that fine line. And when we're talking about being outside with biking, we have a guy who is one of my neighbors. I think, I don't know where he lives, but he rides his bike around the block at like really high pace. Maybe he'll go around maybe 5 times a day. And early on when we moved here, my son was like, look at him, just riding away his problems, just getting away from life.
Rider.
Because it's true. Yeah, like he doesn't look like a stuffed sausage like most of those riders. If you notice, they all wear that spandex, and it's not.
The girls and I, Mia and I had a conversation. No, Ella and I had a
It's
conversation
fine.
yesterday.
We would have taken.
I
We would have
don't
accepted girls and
understand.
I.
Like, I don't understand why people go out and ride their bikes and put on, like, if me and you went out to play catch with a football, we're not putting on shoulder pads, the football pants, and a helmet. Like, these guys are not in the Tour de France. I get it. There's that 5% of guys that you see out there that look like they're Tour de France guys, right?
Yeah, but 95% of them are overweight and look like stuffed sausages.
And that's what I'm talking about. Why are those people? And I kind of have a little problem believing the fact that they're sponsored by all the stuff on their clothing.
No, I know.
But I don't get that. Like, I don't get why, like, a 55, 56-year-old couple goes out and buys, like, new bikes and then gets all the spandex. Like, what I go out, I have my Dickies cargo shorts on. I have a T-shirt. I don't wear a helmet because I feel stupid, but I probably should wear a helmet.
No, I know. No, but I'm with you. I don't get that either, why you're just like, okay, so if I'm going to ride my bike at any sort of pace that's faster than, like, just leisurely, I need to have on spandex shorts, a tight-ass shirt that is ill-fitting at best,
right,
and has some sort of weird logo. They always have, like, UPS logo and stuff, and you're like,
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And then always stupid-ass sunglasses like Oakley's.
Yeah.
Listen,
like,
Oakleys aren't cool. Oakleys are. If you own Oakleys, they're not cool.
I do.
Do you? Are you kidding me?
I have 3 pair.
Why?
But I don't have the kind that you're talking about. Like, I know the kind that you're talking about.
They're like Mark McGuire and the Bash Brothers would wear.
Exactly.
They would wear Oakleys.
No, I understand that. Yeah. But, like, if I am playing my guitar in the basement, I don't put on ripped up spandex, like a leather coat with fringe on it. You know what I mean? I don't put on lipstick and eye makeup to play guitar. Like, these people who are just like, hey, you know what, honey? After dinner, let's go on a nice bike ride. And they get all spandexed up.
Yeah.
And then you're like, dude, where are you, in the Tour de Fat? Like, I don't get it.
And for the record, like I said, I got on the scale earlier. I would be in the Tour de Fat if I had to put that on. So I am not saying I'm
overweight. Absolutely.
Yeah, me too.
But
and if I go out,
I'm not putting on a spandex bodysuit,
right,
going out and riding around the neighborhood.
Yeah, I would much rather dress like Kevin Smith from Mallrats, like, you know, giant jorts and like, it's Kevin Smith, right? That's his name, right?
Some big old Jenko jorts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I would be fine with that. Anything that covers the flab, I'm good with.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't know why someone says, like you said, I'm going to go out and participate in this activity, so I should look like everyone else that does.
You know, the only person, and we've talked about it on one of the earliest episodes that I was on this show, the only person that I can compare it to with leisurely bikers that dress like Tour de France, the only thing I could compare it to is a Major League Baseball manager.
Yes.
He could be wearing a suit.
Right.
He's in cleats. He's in the baseball uniform. Like, that makes no sense to me either.
Even better, has a unique number. Has a number.
Has a number that
with
somebody
his name
else
on the back of the jersey.
They bring the kid up from the minors. Hey, what number do you want to be? Oh, I want to be number 12. Sorry. Skip has it. You know? The skipper has your number.
And he wears cleats.
He clickety clacks around the clubhouse. He wears all that as if he's going to play. He could be wearing Dockers.
Yeah.
Some Jordans, a nice polo, and the baseball hat.
Yeah.
And guess what? I wouldn't question that. I question it more the other. And that is about the only
Can you imagine Bill Belichick wearing a full uniform?
Exactly.
Bill Belichick or Matt Patricia dressed in the uniform, number, helmet.
Stan Van Gundy in a big pair of LA Gears. The, like, big puffy socks that go about his shin. And then shorts and a big jersey.
Yeah.
You know, and he's got, like, his arm meat and kind of like some boob meat hanging out the side of his tank.
Yeah.
And like the
just
Paul Bear.
spillage. Yeah,
Yeah,
Paul
looking
Bear.
like the Paul Bear in a Gus Macker tournament.
Anytime we can get back to Paul Bear, it's always good. But you know what's
I
funny?
thought I would get more points for saying Gus Macker.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. No, I was thinking about the next thing we wanted. I was transitioning to the next thought. So yeah, the Peloton. So I got this to gain weight, whatever it is, what it is. So I've just decided that my whole life I'm always
so
like
threw it out.
Yeah.
You know, I
Anybody
just
wants
decided
it.
it doesn't work.
Yeah,
and I
if it-
threw it out. I'm still making payments, but I threw it out.
Yeah, if anybody wants it, it's on my
I got $22 for that at the metal recycling center.
But I have seen so many more people doing the weirdest things outside of my house since COVID has happened.
Yeah.
Like there's a girl who legit rollerblades by our house every single night. And it's not just like, wouldn't it be funny if we went rollerblading, cut off jeans, dancing a little bit as she goes by? And every day the kids are like, why is that girl always rollerblading? I'm like, and in my head, I'm like, yeah, you know what? Why is she rollerblading? But I try to like take the high road and I'm like, listen, leave her alone. She's not hurting anybody. And then I'm just like, what?
But you know what that's kid speak for? You know what that's kid speak for?
I want to do
when
it.
Grant goes, why is she doing that? He's like, I want her. There's something about her. I want her. And then Morgan's like, why is she doing that? And Morgan's like, I want to do that.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's what they're doing. They're throwing it out at you for you to be like, no, I used to do that when I was a kid, man. Yeah. When I was a teenager, it was so much fun. Really? Can I get some rollerblades, Dad?
Yeah.
But instead, you're like, whatever, man.
But yeah, I've seen that. We saw a guy the other day who was riding this bike that it looked like, I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it. So like
I know what you're talking about. It looks like a tricycle. Are you talking about one of those?
Oh. Wait, what are you talking about?
There's a guy who rides a bike. It's this black dude who's cut. Rides around Royal Oak.
You have to be cut to ride something weird because it's like, and then if anybody talks crap to you, you could beat the crap out of him because you're big.
I'm going to try and quickly explain this and try and go with me on this. It would be like you're wearing downhill skis. So it's like he's standing on downhill skis, and the skis are like one point is together. So if you've ever been skiing and they say make a pie.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So then at the point where the two skis like meet, there would be a wheel there. And at the back of each ski, there would be a wheel. And then there's a handlebar that goes up. And so what he does is like, as you move your body kind of like side to side, if you could see me on YouTube, as you move your body from side to side, it makes the wheels go, right? And so that guy goes all over. He's like in the Royal Oak area, and you see him in the summer all the time.
He twists his body in such a way that like that creates the movement.
Yeah.
So this looks more. So the thing that we saw the guy on yesterday, one guy 2 nights ago, we saw it looked like he had a bicycle that probably came into the size of like a trumpet case. Like it would have folded up or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
it looked like it was like a briefcase bike or something. We don't know because it was everything looked weird about it.
Yeah.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah, it is a thing.
Okay.
They fold up to probably about like as big as the tires are, it basically folds up to the size of like the 2 tires.
So we got that dude who goes by our house. We got the guy on the who's I talking about? Oh yeah, the person who does the rollerblades. And then we got this guy that has this wheel, and it's just one wheel with 2
called a unicycle.
No. It's like electric or battery powered. He stands on, so like the wheel is in between his feet.
Okay.
He doesn't sit on anything. He just stands on it like this, and then the wheel's like here, and he just goes, and he like leans back and forth and goes through.
So it's like a one-wheel hoverboard.
Yes.
Or like a one-wheel
But it goes
Segway.
quite a bit. Yeah, it goes quite a bit faster than like a kid's hoverboard or a Segway did.
There's another funny black guy in Royal Oak who rides this thing. It's one wheel, again, like unicycle, but it's big and it's thick. It's not as thick as a car tire. It's like half the size. So like a motorcycle. So it's like a motorcycle tire, and it's got the part on top of it that like you sit on, that for a lack of better description, it would be like a saddle. So think of a motorcycle tire with a saddle on top of it. The guy sits on it, and it has the same, like, I'm guessing technology, like a Segway. So like it doesn't tip over, it like
Yeah.
balance. But the dude, again, he's this black dude. He wears all Star Trek gear. Honest to God. So you'll see him going down the street. He does it like in the spring, summer, fall, and he'll be wearing like black pants, and then he'll have like a yellow long sleeve shirt on with like the Star Trek thing in the corner.
Yeah.
Like a straight up like costume. And then he rides this thing down the sidewalk. He doesn't ride it in the street. He rides it down the sidewalk.
Right.
And then like you'll see him 2 days later, and he's wearing like the red Star Trek shirt.
Now, does he think he is the shit? Because the guy that goes by my house, it's not even a matter. He doesn't even pretend. Hands in the pockets, like, hey, deal with it.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
Yeah. So this guy, but he's
Just
like,
think about it. Growing up, if you ever went roller skating or ice skating at open skate, whoever's skating with their hands in their pockets, like this ain't no thing, that was the coolest kid out there.
and you're over on the side, hugging the wall.
Yeah. Your arms are out at your sides,
Just
trying
waiting
to
to break your wrist.
And this guy's just hands in pockets, just cruising like Chevy Chase at the beginning of Fletch.
Yeah,
on his
nice reference.
Yeah,
Nice reference. It's on Hulu this month, if you're wondering.
Oh, you got to watch Fletch. If you guys have watched every single movie you could possibly watch, and you're looking for something new, you got to watch Fletch.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, do it.
That's going to do it for episode whatever it is of Cal Cagno Radio. We thank you for being here today. Thank you for our special guests, Molly, who didn't come on, so everyone still doesn't know what she looks like. Also, Evelyn, who we did see, and we didn't see the puppy.
Oh, you didn't see it?
No, we
weren't
recording.
But we weren't recording. Yeah.
Mugent.
Miki. Freaky Meek.
Mugent. I should know a girl name. What's that?
I said I didn't know what you were saying.
Mugent. That was someone's middle name that I knew from high school.
Oh.
Her name was Katie Mugent Wygant.
Oh my gosh.
And now she works for like Jack White and is like a big deal. She's an awesome girl, but I just always remembered her middle name because like they said it in class and like her face went white, like, why did you say my middle name, like in front of everybody?
Because they were probably thinking like this must be a hyphenated last name. Mugent Regent or whatever her name was.
Wygant.
Yeah, that's weird.
All right, either way, where can they find you on the Instagram or maybe on Twitter?
I'm no longer on Facebook. I'm done with Facebook. So if you guys have been trying to contact me or whatever,
They
I'm
haven't.
off of that.
They haven't.
Yeah, no, and but you can find me on Instagram at average jerk BBQ or jerk Yorkie. At those two things.
Yeah, find us.
Chit chat with a lot of listeners. I've met like a lot of nice people on this and people who get a hold of me, and I try and get back to you as soon as I can.
Yeah, remember to follow along with everything we're doing. You can go to calcagnoradio.com or you can go to @calcagnoradio or anybody else. You could probably figure out how to get a hold of us. We appreciate you. Email the show, calcagnoradio@gmail.com. We love you. See ya. Bye.
See ya.